All right, in today's video, I want to break down one of our clients, Scott, and how he added 183K in video deals. And I specifically want to break down Scott's journey because I think it relates to a lot of you guys out there, and I think a lot of you guys can see yourself in Scott. So Scott, previously, I'll flip over to my iPad here in just a second. Scott previously was working full-time as a creative director at a cannabis dispensary in California. And so when he came to us, he was just saying to himself, he's like, I'm tired of this feast or famine. I'm tired of being a starving artist. I'm tired of being the guy with just the camera, and I need to learn new skills to get more clients. And I'm going to play a couple of voice notes that Scott sent me as some takeaways, and I'll kind of pepper those in here throughout this video just to give you guys a little bit more in-depth breakdown on kind of what his journey was, and maybe it provides some value to you as well. But Scott, before he started with us, he was very just the guy who created beautiful stuff. He worked with people like Quasi, who's like a big video editor with his course, and he worked with a lot of other companies, and I'll flip over to what, some of the people he's actually worked with in this video as well. But he was really good at making beautiful pieces of content, but he was still finding himself in a place where he wasn't making the money he wanted to make, and he was still in that feast or famine mode, which for him, he was like, what gives? Because I have such great work, I don't know why people are not paying more for it. And it really comes down to learning this skill we're going to talk about in this video to provide more value to your actual clients. And that's ultimately what they care about. They don't care about the video anymore. Everybody with a camera can shoot beautiful content. And if that's all your unique selling proposition is, it's going to be really difficult to scale. Okay, so this is Scott. You can watch his case study on our page, but he added 183K. It's actually more than that at this point to his video business as he's worked with us. He's actually about to put a huge payment down on a house in California, which is super awesome. He's about to buy a new home in the San Diego area, which is sick. But he had a full-time job at a cannabis dispensary being the creative director there. Now, here's Scott's production company. It's called Dream Vision Media. As you can see, his work is very, very nice. The quality of his content is amazing. You can see some of the people he's worked with, like Cutwater, Post Malone, Ben Q, Android, A24, Google, Hyundai, and many more, right? So, like, the work wasn't a problem for him. The content was beautiful. He just didn't have people who wanted to pay enough for it, and they didn't want to pay on retainer. And so he was still stuck doing a full-time job while having this production company and doing freelancing stuff on the side. And so, like, as you can see, his work is really beautiful. So it's like, it doesn't come down to how beautiful your content is. It comes down to how much value are you providing to the client and how much money are they willing to pay for that value at the end of the day. And the biggest thing for him was he also didn't have a way of getting leads consistently. So number one, he'd get people, they'd do like a one-off project with him. And then number two, he didn't have a consistent way of generating those leads every single week, month, and year. And even if you provide a ton of value and you have clients stay with you, at a certain point, you need more people on the front end, more people to talk to who have, a problem you can solve through content and want to pay you on retainer. So what we did with Scott is we implemented a lead generation system with him. And I'm about to break down everything we did with him here. But really with Scott, what we did is number one, we had to figure out his offer. And so with his offer, we had to figure out who is he actually targeting. So what we did is we said, let's target online coaches plus consultants, because this is a growing market. They have money. They're willing to pay for content on a monthly basis, and Scott could easily pump that content out. Now, number two, what we had to do is we had to figure out, we needed to start actually generating leads. So we needed to do lead generation. And so what we did here is we actually built out a entire funnel, and I'll break down what that looks like. And so we helped him script, shoot, and edit his actual ads. So we launched ads that went to a lead form, which went to a VSL, which went to book a call. And then we targeted the local San Diego area. So now that we had the retainer-based offer in place and we built out what those price points were, we had the lead generation, we had the funnel. Now we had the ads going to a lead form, going to a VSL, which is a video sales letter, which is something we helped him script and shoot and get launched as well. And then we had them on a book a call. We had them book a call with him. And then from there, he would turn a percentage of those calls into people that wanted to close. So within this, we were able to generate leads that he would then get on the phone with. And then the third thing we did is we helped him learn a new skill. And I'll drop part of Scott's voice memo in here as well. But one of the main skills we taught Scott is how to actually run paid media. So how to run paid media for his clients. And so for him, he was previously just sending them the beautiful content that we saw on his website just earlier, and then they would put it on a back corner of their website. It would get no views, it would get no traction, and they'd be like, yeah, that was nice, but like we didn't really make any money from it, so like we're probably not gonna hire you again. And so that was a big sticking point for Scott, to where like they didn't want to keep paying him, so it was hard to maintain clients. And if you just have clients paying you one time and then leaving out the back door, it's going to be really difficult to scale the business because you have no stickiness to your offer. Nobody wants to stay. No one wants to keep paying you. And so you have to think through that with your offer and figure out like, why are people continuing to work with you, or why are they not continuing to work with you? And what do we need to change within that process to make sure that they stay for a very long time? And so for Scott, it was running paid media, and the secondary thing we helped him with was an organic content strategy. And so this was using something called ManyChat to help his clients get traction with the social media content that he was creating, and then take those leads and then turn those leads into clients for their clients. And so these were the main things that we worked on with Scott. And I think I'm going to drop part of his voice memo in here as well, but I think the biggest thing for him too was that learning a new skill and not getting left behind just doing content and getting stuck in the weeds there. Because at the end of the day, you can see Scott has beautiful work. Like, the work he has is amazing. It's beautiful. But the problem is beautiful work doesn't get you more clients. Having a lead generation system gets you more clients. Having a way to get clients results gets you more clients. Having a way to get clients coming back and paying you again and again increases your LTV per client, helps you make more per client. And ultimately, at the end of the day, like, that's what's going to actually help you grow the business, not making beautiful content. And so hopefully this gives you a little bit more insight. You could check out his website here and look at more of the type of work that Scott actually does. But Scott's a great example of somebody who was, and still is, a very creative, talented person, but just needed some direction on the business side on how to get more clients. And obviously it's paid off very well for him, where he's made 183K working with us over just the past little bit.
Yeah, thank you also again for the congrats. Master Filmmaker helped me kind of make a couple power moves over the last year and a half. The industry of film has been shooken lately. This whole working these jobs where we get like, oh, a DP's on set, or I'm going to do this big time filmmaking game is kind of being shooken up by, technology being better, by you with the crew in an FX, no crew in an FX3 can come out and shoot incredible stunt, whereas before you need a team. It's just shaking the industry. And so that's why, to me, Master Filmmaker is a no-brainer transition for anybody who wants to stay in the game, because you have to learn digital marketing. I like beautiful shit. I like high production stuff. I've worked on sets that are, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And, when I went into Master Filmmaker, I had to kind of sit back and say, I really do need an offer that's results based, because the facts are is that companies don't give a fuck if it looks good, because now everything looks good. Every fucking thing that you shoot with an FX3 or, decent camera, it all looks good. So those who have those cameras in the past could have succeeded, right? When you had a Red or you had some really fancy camera, whereas now these, 18-year-old kids are banging out sick commercials. So if you don't do this, you may not be around. You have to learn how to be savvy in digital marketing. You have to run your own ads. You have to learn how to run ads for clients. To me, it's the future of video production. You're going to have to know how to do that. So got an ROI that was well over 10 times what I put in. So, Eric is a super good dude, and he knows what he's doing. I was afraid to do this, and you're going to have to learn how to run ads, but the Master Filmmaker team walks with you. It's not just a course of information. They literally walk with you, set shit up for you. So, honestly, that's the only reason why I even got my ads running, is the team helped set it up.
So hopefully this gives you guys a little bit more insight. If you want to learn more about how we could possibly help you here at Master Filmmaker, just click the link below, schedule a demo with our team. And if not, keep enjoying these free YouTube videos. I have a ton of stuff on launching ads, going through the sales process, and really helping you guys just here for free on YouTube. So we'll see you in the next one.